Hi everybody, Jared O'D here at Dynamis. I wanted to take a couple of moments to talk to you about a new course that we've been delivering for a while. It's called Crisis Interventions and Incident Management, and it's based around situations that our care and education clients were coming across where their staff were encountering people who were attempting to self-harm or even attempting suicide. And they wanted to have both an incident management set of content and learning outcomes, and also some of the behavioral interventions, verbal skills for intervention and so on that the staff could use. So of course we do that. We enable your people to keep everyone safe in your workplace, verbally wherever possible and physically only if we must. The really useful thing about this course is that it's based on something we call the first responder philosophy. And that is the proper way for care professionals to respond to emergency situations. It starts, with the first 5 steps here are for staff to arrive, to assess the situation and what kind of situation it is, to give an alarm and make sure their colleagues know what's happening, to evaluate the threats and the risks that might be present in the situation, and then to make a careful decision as to whether to enter. Then, if they enter, and that's a big if, they will attempt to stabilize the situation. They'll check the medical status of the person or people involved. They will monitor the condition of that person long term. Then there's a whole raft of who needs to know about what happened and communicating that out. And of course, to make sure that we get the best possible result next time this might happen, we need to communicate, document and debrief our lessons learned about the situation that we're in. So in a very, very small nutshell, that is the first responder philosophy. It's a kind of framework that we can work through. It's actually a really great way to debrief. It's a great way to document in itself an incident that happens. Look, we want staff to treat people the way that they would like to be treated if they themselves were in identical circumstances. And the idea when we encounter somebody who's in this kind of crisis is that our job is to help them to reach calm with us. Number one, we want to get their attention. When you first encounter somebody in crisis, it's really important to slowly and carefully and sensitively build a bridge over which we can start sending messages to and from them. We're going to need to check what is their perception of reality at this time. Are they seeing things the way we're seeing them? What are they seeing and hearing and feeling? What are the important things to them at this moment? So we make that connection, we establish some credibility and create a supportive atmosphere through establishing rapport. So we will need to listen and empathize and, if you like, invest in this relationship that's just happened at the point of impact, so to speak. Once we have that rapport going, we can perhaps offer our own perceptions about what's happening with that person and how we need to keep everybody safe and what's happening in the environment, and narrate for them, what we think is happening and what we feel about what's happening, so that we always say that empathy is a two-way street. So we need to sensitively input into the conversation the things we're concerned about. Then we can move towards resolution, and then this means using all of our other skills which are more commonly used, such as redirection, empathy, persuasion, listening, and that way find a safe pathway forward together with this person who's in crisis. And that's what we mean when we say that we teach a system of values-based behavior management skills which are coupled with protective physical alternatives where necessary. And effective training, of course, and the way we deliver our training courses will mesh decision-making, communication skills, and physical skills together, so that staff understand how those things interact when they become appropriate and when they are not appropriate. A really great, safe service will include all of the elements on screen here: formal risk assessment, a positive behavior support plan, crisis intervention procedures and protocols, an emergency management plan. If where possible, where we know things about our clients and our service users, we'll have an individualized risk assessment. We'll be keeping everybody safe through a trauma-informed lens. Afterwards, we'll need to have a really great staff debrief, make sure we get our lessons learned, record the incident so that other people who weren't there, who might be investigating or concerned about what happened, can find out in detail what happened. Do an incident review so that we can change anything about our service or our environment that we need to, and then produce that really important data so that we can track how we're doing over the long term. Look, our training mantra is, one of our other training mantras is to leave people feeling better than when they first encountered us. And that when we or our staff or your staff arrive, then our service users are safer because of our presence and because we're there, because we know what to do. We have these pre-planned or practice responses in place, and we can make this situation safer for everybody involved. So that's a really brief introduction to this crisis interventions and incident management course. We, for example, have been asked to deliver that for schools where they've had a group of young men break into their dining room in the middle of the day. That was at a secondary school. Something happening in the community that erupted in through the school gates and in through the doors of the dining room of the school. And a head teacher there wanted to converge on a plan and a framework for how to manage incidents. Another school brought us in to help them when they actually had a suicide attempt at a local school near them. And when SLT sat down to discuss what was going on at their school, they felt they needed some input on incident management, emergency preparation, and crisis interventions for dealing with people who might be in that state. So that's my very quick introduction. There's lots more information around this. The web page you should go to is positivehandling.co.uk or dynamis.training. You'll find us at any of those places, and we'll be very happy to help you to find out more about this course and perhaps its suitability for your services. Thanks so much.